Most people believe success is about hard work, talent, and luck. But Machiavelli saw something far deeper hidden beneath human behavior that most people never notice because they are too busy living inside it and not observing it from outside. When you start understanding human nature, you realize that success is not just about becoming better. It is about discovering how people around you truly operate in silence, because the moment you rise above average, something invisible starts changing around you. People don't always say it directly, but their behavior shifts, their energy changes, and their emotions become different without explanation. This is because human beings constantly compare themselves, even when they pretend not to. And your growth becomes a mirror that forces them to see their own position in life. This video is not just about success, it is about the hidden psychology behind jealousy, comparison, resentment, and truth about human relationships that no one openly talks about. And by the end of this series, you will understand why becoming better than others is not just power. It is also a test of human nature itself, and why most people fail that test without even realizing it. Law 1. They support your dreams, not your results. Most people assume support is permanent, but Machiavelli understood a deeper truth about human nature. People are comfortable with your dreams as long as those dreams remain harmless. When your goals exist only in words, ideas, and imagination, people can easily encourage you. They can clap for your ambition because it costs them nothing. They can motivate you because there is no risk, no comparison, and no threat. But the moment those dreams start turning into real results, everything begins to change. Your discipline becomes visible, your success becomes measurable, your growth becomes undeniable, and suddenly, the same people who once encouraged you begin reacting differently, not because you changed as a person, but because your position changed in their world. Human psychology is built on comparison. When someone around you starts winning, it forces an unconscious evaluation. People begin asking themselves questions they avoid. Why not me? Why them? What am I doing wrong? Instead of facing these questions, many choose the easier path. They emotionally distance themselves from the person who triggered them. Real life proves this pattern again and again. A person talks about starting something new and everyone supports him, but when he actually builds it, improves his life, and begins winning, the energy shifts. Some people become quieter, some become critical, some disappear completely. Not because he became different, but because his success changed. The emotional balance around them, the hidden rule, is brutal. People can celebrate your potential easily, but not everyone can handle your results, because results don't just show your growth. They expose their inaction. And once you understand this, you stop confusing attention with loyalty and support with truth. Law 2. Your growth becomes their comparison. Human nature is deeply driven by comparison, and Machiavelli understood that people rarely see your success in isolation. Instead, they measure it against their own life. When everyone is moving at a similar pace, relationships feel stable, but the moment one person starts growing faster than the rest, a silent comparison begins. Your progress stops being just your progress. It becomes a reflection of what others are not achieving, and this is where discomfort starts to build. Because every improvement you make becomes an unspoken reminder of their delay. Human psychology naturally protects ego, so instead of accepting this gap, many people shift their behavior. They may become distant, less supportive, or quietly critical, not always because they hate you, but because your growth makes them question their own direction. Real life shows this clearly. Two friends start together with equal potential, but one chooses discipline, focus, and action, while the other remains comfortable as time passes. The gap increases, and so does the emotional distance. Conversations change, energy shifts, and admiration slowly turns into comparison. The hidden rule is simple but brutal. People are often fine with your success until it highlights their stagnation. And once that comparison becomes too strong, your growth starts changing how they feel about themselves. And that is when relationships begin to change without any warning. Law 3. The moment you outgrow them, they change. Human nature is deeply tied to stability, and Machiavelli understood that most people are comfortable as long as roles inside a group remain predictable. When everyone is at the same level, relationships feel natural, but the moment one person starts rising faster than the rest, something subtle begins to break. Your growth changes the emotional balance of the entire group, because people don't just see your progress, they feel it in relation to themselves. Your improvement becomes a silent signal, that someone else is moving ahead. And this creates an internal conflict in many minds. Instead of adapting to that change, some people begin to emotionally distance themselves, not always out of hatred, but because your growth disrupts the identity they had built around the group. Real life shows this pattern clearly. Friends who once shared everything slowly become distant as one person becomes more focused, disciplined, and successful. Conversations lose depth, support becomes less genuine, and familiarity starts fading. The hidden rule is simple but brutal. People are often comfortable with your presence until your growth forces them to accept that you are no longer the same version of yourself. And once that realization hits, relationships start changing even without conflict or words. Law 4. Success reveals who people really are. Human nature is often hidden behind politeness, and Machiavelli understood that people rarely show their true intentions until something changes the balance of power. When you are at the same level as others, relationships feel normal and stable. But success acts like a revealing force. It doesn't create new emotions. It exposes existing ones that were already hidden beneath the surface. As your life improves, your discipline increases, and your achievements become visible, people around you start reacting differently. Not because you changed into someone else, but because your position changed in their internal comparison system. Your success becomes a mirror, and that mirror forces people to confront uncomfortable truths about their own progress. Some respond with genuine happiness, but others begin to feel threatened, not by you personally, but by what your growth represents. Real life shows this clearly when someone close to you starts rising in status. Some people stay consistent while others become distant, critical, or quietly uncomfortable. The hidden rule is simple but brutal. Success does not change people. It reveals them, and the higher you rise, the more clearly you see who is truly with you and who was only comfortable when everything was equal. And this is why success often feels lonely, because it removes illusions and replaces them with reality that many people were never prepared to face. Law 5. Success exposes everyone. Human nature has a hidden side that most people never notice, and Machiavelli understood this deeply, that success does not just change your life. It exposes the real identity of people around you. When you are at a normal level, everything feels stable. People act supportive, relationships feel genuine, and nothing seems fake. But the moment you start rising, something changes silently. Your success becomes a spotlight, and that spotlight reveals emotions that were always hidden beneath the surface. Some people feel genuinely happy for you, but others start feeling uncomfortable, not because you did anything wrong, but because your growth is silently highlighting their stagnation. Human psychology is built on comparison, and when people can no longer ignore the gap between your progress and theirs, their behavior begins to shift. Real life shows this clearly. Friends who once treated you normally may become distant, overly critical, or emotionally different, not because you changed as a person, but because your success exposed their true mindset and internal insecurity. The brutal truth is simple. Success does not create new behavior. It removes the mask and reveals what was already inside people all along. And that is why, the higher you rise, the more clearly you understand who was real and who was only comfortable when you were not ahead.